Hey guys, what's up? It's Schla, and today I'm bringing you yet another episode of Car Rides with Schla. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I haven't really been thinking about the content thing that much. It's weird, this weekend I just wasn't really thinking about it a lot. And now, today I had an opportunity, I really could have been leaving the house a lot earlier than now, and I didn't. I mean, I'm still going to make a pretty good time, but I could have really maxed it and gone for like super early. You know what I mean? And I just didn't. I lost track of time. But I mean, I'm saying I lost track of time, but I never really lose track of time. Me losing track of time is like a couple minutes or something. I mean, I'm always kind of on it. I'm still on it. But last and certainly not least, I am having a slight headache, which I guess it's good it's only slight, but it's still not that fun to be dealing with. It's just not. I don't really know why. I've been trying to drink and to get it back. Well, I'm not trying to get it back. I'm trying to get my normal stasis back. And it just didn't work. And it's weird because it's been lingering since yesterday. That's very unusual for me because 9 times out of 10, when I sleep, the headache's gone without fail. So when it doesn't do that, that's a pretty exceptional case. But as I've gotten older, I've noticed it's been like that more, and yeah, so I don't really know where I'm at. I guess I really just haven't been thinking about much recently. There was a lot of thoughts for a while where I'd almost constantly be thinking about doing the whole thing and everything. But it's just not like that. It wasn't like that today. It wasn't really like that yesterday. I still have a lot to overcome. I'd want to be the type of person who is super comfortable on camera, super comfortable recording and being on camera, and very forward about it. But I'm not. And so, I mean, I am when I'm by myself, but I mean like all the time. There's content that I could be recording when I'm with other people or things like that I just don't really want to do, or especially I just still feel like I'm shy, and I don't know if I'm always meant to be shy or what that is, but I really think, and I've always thought this and wanted to not be a shy person at all, that things would be better if I wasn't, just for myself. It's always something I wanted, but it's never ended up materializing. I've always just succumbed to being quite a reserved person most of the time. And I guess I'm getting better in that regard, I guess. But at the same time, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. But it is what it is. It is what it is. But it's a little bit disappointing to go from that. I really thought there was a time where I was very locked in and going for it and thinking of ways to record more and doing all this stuff and just overflowing with things to talk about, you know, just overflowing with all these ideas and things to do, and I was excited because it was an outlet. But now, car rides with Schla, it's not really that exciting anymore. It's not revolutionary for me because I've been doing it, and it's normal. It's pretty normal now. Like, I can't imagine just not doing it at this point. But it's weird, you know? It's weird how you go through life like that. I think it's strange. Like, I really thought, I guess I'd be doing more at this point or something. I guess that's what I thought. And it's fine. I mean, like I said, you know, you gotta take things one step at a time, but I guess I realized my true form, which is live streaming. Believe I talked about that on Friday. And I guess, in a way, that's been a great thing, because now a lot of stuff makes sense to me. I think I could just be a good streamer. I think I could be a better streamer than most people. But then now it's also a little bit of a soul crusher, because live streaming is harder. It's a lot harder, and it's not because it's difficult for me within the act of doing it. It's that it's a lot more time consuming. Like, making videos is almost like passive income or something, because you can make them whenever you want, and then you can just post them. And then you don't even have to ever, it doesn't affect your day-to-day routine. If I was a content creator, I could make and post videos a lot. And I could still work my job and still work all my hours and do all that stuff. But a live stream is tricky. I would have to sacrifice time in order to do it. And even still, it would be tricky, because, I mean, how do you do that? Because it would still be come home from work and then stream. I feel like my brain's not, it's just not, I don't have like a grip right now, you know what I mean, in terms of what I'm trying to say. I don't have like a grip. That's kind of the problem. I need to get a grip. Yeah, I don't know. I just want to relax, I guess. I guess that's fine. There's talking content with relaxing. A lot of times I'm not relaxing, but it's not like I have to be delving into the deep arches of depth every time I talk. You know, the show, I think in the beginning a lot of the episodes were a little bit sillier. But then recently, I mean, because I just like deep stuff, but I don't know, there's a lot of stuff throwing me off. The headache's throwing me off. The fact that still thirsty even though I drank so much is throwing me off. I'm just overall, I'm not sure what it is. I feel like I could be some kind of allergy thing, but it doesn't really make sense because it's July. Like, it's not. By the way, the date Monday, July 28th. It's not that hot. No, sorry, it's not about temperature. It's just the whole thing with the. Yeah, and I'm realizing too, I'm like driving kind of improperly. Like, I've just been going slower than I probably usually do in third, as opposed to. I usually on this road shift into fourth and go like about 40, but I've kind of been driving at like 33 and just staying in third gear. And I don't really know why. I guess nobody's behind me, so I'm not really thinking about it. And then also in general, I just feel out of it right now. But that's the thing. I'm not tired. Like, I don't feel like sleeping. I don't think I got a bad night's rest. I don't feel tired. Well, you know what? I don't feel sleepy. I feel restored. I don't feel sleepy right now. That's the crazy thing. Even though you might think that. Nah, I just think, something's up. I've hit a snag. This episode and this week in recording, or whatever you want to say, it came sooner than I really expected. Right? I guess I just wasn't mentally prepared for this kind of a situation for some reason. I'm not sure why. Not sure why or how that happened, but that's what I think happened. And I think sometimes, I've mentioned that before, it's kind of hard to get back into the swing of things after the weekend. And a part of me, I wonder if, like I said, I would do better with a 6-day-a-week work schedule. I'd actually be pretty rich then if I worked 6 days a week. And by rich, I mean I could actually be on track to own a home if I save pretty aggressively. That's something I could talk about. I don't know that I really went that in depth into it before, but I think I did mention how eliminating credit and credit cards is a pretty necessary thing, or it's something I would have done or would do if I was running for president, or like when we talk about American policy. Although it would never end up happening, because then you have other countries would still allow credit, and then it's just a whole like thing to get into. But basically, I think that loans end up making the cost of everything go up. And when they first came out with a lot of the financing stuff, it was marketed in a way that it was going to help poor people be able to afford things, because poor people don't have money to afford it all at once. But really, it just pinched the middle class, because now the cost of everything ends up being higher. I thought this was something I was going to be a little more interested in talking about, but it turns out I've already said it to so many people. So, and then in addition to the mood I'm in right now, I mean, this could be, it definitely could be one of the worst moods I've been in for a car rides with Schla. It's possible. And it's not a bad mood as in, I'm not in a bad mood. Like, I'm happy with life right now. I'm happy. I'm joyous. I'm exuberant right now, I'm joyful. But there's an underlying fatigue And it's just not really making a lot of sense, right? Like, that's kind of the problem. That's the place I'm at right now. That's the place I'm at. But anyways, when you have debt as an option, it causes prices to go up, because now you can get away with charging more for a house because there's financing available. Because if you don't have to pay the money all at once, it's obviously a lot easier to purchase a home if it's just $3,000 a month as opposed to $400,000 all at once. So if you got rid of all financing and loans, just got rid of it all, then the prices for everything would fall. They'd fall deeply because people just wouldn't be able to afford a home. You know, they just wouldn't be able to pay $400,000 for it. So they'd have to lower the price in order to get somebody to buy it. And everybody's home value would plummet if we got rid of mortgages. So that's really one of the main issues with costs being higher. I'm assuming credit has a similar effect, although obviously not to the same degree, but this at least explains why, in large part, housing and I don't know how I'm blanking on cars, man. Housing and cars and college tuition are as high as it is. It's because of financing. And I guess you can look at this even further. If you don't believe that it's solely due to financing, that showcases an additional problem. So the additional problem is that in order for companies to make ends meet, there has to be these super inflated prices. Well, no, I actually don't think that happens. I don't think that's a good counter argument, but I'm going to finish explaining it. Like, even with all this that I'm talking about how colleges end up, being able to charge more, and people can charge more for homes, people can charge more for cars. Even with all that, there's still not enough money. Doesn't that seem kind of weird? Even with all that, you know what I mean? Like, Nissan's still going bankrupt. But what I realized is that that's not the point. The point is these companies just pushes what they're making. A lot of newer cars have a lot of extra features. And so if you didn't have financing, it would probably just be very simple cars because they'd have to adjust to the market. So there wouldn't be a lot of tech inside of them, and they might be worse. They might be worse vehicles at the end of the day because the financing wouldn't be available, so companies would have to keep their prices lower in order for people to buy it. I guess it's also a mental thing too, although it's hard to believe that anybody was ever really that into saving money, broadly speaking. I know it was a cultural attitude at one point. I guess a majority of Americans saved. But how and why did that change so quickly? It just seems kind of strange to me. I almost don't believe that people saved that much in the past. It seems kind of like, just with the current analysis of humans, but I guess that nullifies some of my assertions that my whole limitation in human psyche theories and things like that. I guess it nullifies it a bit. Because people in the past did, as far as we know, generally just save more. There are cultures that just save more. I thought I've heard it before that in China, most people do save a lot of their money. In comparison to present day America. But America in the past people saved a lot more. So some of it's definitely cultural. But I don't know. Maybe it's just because people don't really have to anymore. Well, I know really what happened is maybe that's a part of what made the Golden Age the Golden Age, because they were just instituting these systems, so people from the Golden Age enjoyed them in terms of being able to finance a car easily, being able to go to college easily. But now the long-term effects is just being able to buy a home easily. The long-term effects of that are now prices are just higher. So the Golden Age, they really lived it up very selfishly and then sabotaged their children's futures, and some of them didn't even have children, obviously. So it's interesting to think about it that way, but that is the truth. I say it all the time, the blood is on their hands. And then the young people now have to make up all the slack, and that's why a lot of young people just aren't, which is really, I think it's fair. As much as I don't know, I'm obviously kind of a worker. It's fair that young people just don't want to do anything, because we're getting totally just robbed and taken for granted. Just totally taken for granted. Young people are just completely getting taken for granted. I feel taken for granted. I feel abused. That's all we are to people, man. We're just out here trying to make a buck. We're just out here trying to make a buck or two. We're just trying to eat burgers, eat pizza, and we're just out here trying to make a buck or two, eat burgers, eat pizza, and chill, man, and work. We're trying to work, but we can't work because all our money's getting taken from us and being put to old people rotting in nursing homes and old people who can't work and who aren't contributing themselves. And we're out here working hard, man, because we're able-bodied and young, and we able-bodied youngins. And we ain't seen no reward for all that, and that right there's a problem, and that's not right. Sorry, I'm delirious, man. I'm delirious, man. I'm delirious right now, man. I wanted to get to talking about my dream before I forget it. And I've already kind of forgotten some of the details, but it was one of these weird situations where, and I've had a lot of dreams actually at shore houses or, beach houses, and I think it's just because of childhood, and we'd usually go to the beach once a year for a week, and there always kind of being a positive correlation with that and stuff. And so I've had a lot of dreams sort of like this, but not any this like kind of strange. And for some reason it was some kind of party, I suppose. I almost want to say it was a graduation kind of thing, but it had to have been something for school starting, which I never did anything like this. So that's what makes it a little bit odd, but I never went to anywhere to celebrate anything, but it was probably me and a bunch of other people my age who were presumably I was in like my senior year of high school. That seemed to be what was being said or what was happening. And so I'll address how I know that in the next part we get into, but I'm just saying I'm gonna kind of spoil it for you guys a little bit, just because I think in storytelling it gives a little more context to what the situation is. So the extra context is that I'm a senior. I'm pretty sure I'm a senior in high school. And it would have been the day I'm not certain, but I think it's the day before. It's the day before. Like, this event takes place. It's hard to say, though. It could have been 2 days before my first day of senior year. And bear in mind, this is an alternate reality senior year. It's not what actually happened my first day of senior year. This is something that nothing really makes any sense. It's not, I guess it's similar in terms of what the school was like and stuff like that, but it's not the same. It seemed like a different kind of reality. Like a different reality. I don't know. So anyways, let me cut to the chase. So we're at, and when I say we, I'm assuming other people who were starting their senior year. A bunch of us, all friends, and we're at this beach house. Not really doing anything in particular. I guess everybody was just around talking and hanging out. So I assume a bunch of us just decided to rent it out. And like I said, it was just a bunch of friends talking, but I think there was like 3 levels, and I think we had the whole building rented out. So it wasn't just one level. I do remember that. And I don't think there's really anything eventful to point out about the dream. I'm trying to remember if there was anything else to even add, but I don't really think there was. I think that's really all the detail I can give, because I don't know how much of it was relevant or anything like that. But now we get to the main thing that happened. Because like I said, I don't remember anything noteworthy. Until this point. It just seemed like everybody was having fun, everybody was having a good time, or just kind of chilling, not doing much. And then it seemed kind of weird and like glitchy. It seemed like a little bit strange and glitchy. This girl died. Like she was killed or something. And then there were these two men just like kind of in the house. I don't know. Roaming around like very quickly. And we were in the same room when it happened. Like I was there when they were killed. And immediately what happened is it was like in my mind, it was like the computer hitting the power button and hitting shut down. So I kind of relate that to, I guess I feel like when I was a kid this would happen. Like if you see something scary on YouTube, you would like just quickly try to close it. Like you couldn't watch it anymore. Like you were so scared, you just wanted to shut everything down. So I'm assuming it was alluding to that, which is something I haven't done since I was like, wow. I mean, I don't even know. Really young, like single digits probably. But I'm just remembering that now too. Like I think that was a thing that happened. If you were watching some scary YouTube video or something, the second it started to get too scary for you to handle, you would try to quickly get rid of it. But I clicked, like the Windows start menu, power button, and shut down, and I was just trying to shut down. And so that leads me to believe, as I've thought about it in post, that this was some kind of reality where that may not have been, like, that would have somehow been my ability to escape or something. Like if I shut down, I was safe. Or maybe I was just so scared and it was an analogy. It was an analogy for just like basically passing out from stress, as I'm assuming I would have been if I think she was shot. I'm pretty sure like she got shot, and then like I said, there were these two men who were probably masked, but not masked in a crazy or scary way. Just I think they had masks on, and they were just running around the room and running towards me. And the other thing, and this is the strangest part, is I was given receipts. Like I had 2 receipts, and I don't really remember what they said, but I think they obviously had something to do with the murder, and I think those men may have given it to me. So that makes things complicated. I mean, did I pay for somebody to get murdered, and then those men were giving me the receipt for the job I paid them? Or was it some kind of completely deeper thing than that? I don't even know. And now I don't remember, because now I'm remembering there was additional detail to this. So I'm pretty frustrated about that, because I'm not going to be able to remember. A lot of it was things I was talking about with my dad about, yeah, I'm not even, I don't know, because it happened after the fact. Like this happened and I shut down, and then I don't really know what happened in between then and then I was home. I came to be and I was home. So I don't know how I got home from the shore house. I don't really remember what happened at the shore house, but I was home. And yeah, I'm just trying to think again. It's kind of difficult to remember, honestly. And then again, I think I was talking to my dad about stuff, so I guess I probably went home that day. You know what I mean? I probably did. I probably went home that day. So this was still probably just the day before my first year of senior year of high school. That's probably what it was. Just the day before. But I had talked to my dad about a bunch of stuff, and he was maybe explaining to me, yeah, he was like telling me about something to do with computers and something that they were doing. Because this whole thing was obviously on the news. But it's a shame, I don't remember a lot of these details, but there was some thing on the news, and I think I was saying something about like, well, did a computer kill them or something? You know, I don't exactly remember. It's a shame I didn't remember more of this. I mean, I really would have had to immediately record it like the second I woke up or something. So I don't know how feasible that would have been. But it's kind of a shame. I guess I should be a little more religious about doing that. If I have an interesting dream, I should probably just get that recorded instead of, because now there's so many details missing. But it was like spiritual, it was technological, the reasoning as to why this situation had unfolded. It was strange, you know. It was very strange. And I don't remember, again, a lot of the details, but then, I don't know, I was feeling kind of paranoid about it, obviously. And I still just went to school and stuff, which I think that's kind of what doesn't really make any sense, right? Because obviously if I was involved, or even if I was at the scene, more people, like I wouldn't just be going to school the next day if I was on site for a murder. And I don't think I told people that I had these receipts. I don't remember again how I got them, if the men had given them to me or how they were in my possession. It's a shame how many details I already forgot. That's just what happens though. Like, you know, when you have a job and you can't have time to wake up and analyze dreams and things like that. And that's kind of what I'm saying. I think there's something to that, you know, there's something to that for sure. Having the freedom to be able to wake up and record in a chill, comfy way. I need to just have a mic right by my bed, you know, just a microphone right by it. Yeah, this episode was terrible. This episode was horrible. This could have been the worst episode yet. I just this episode could have been the worst episode yet. You know, it's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy, ain't it? I don't know how I'm gonna keep doing this, man. It's dreadful because this dream's really interesting. Trust me, it's interesting, but I know I didn't explain it well. I know I didn't. And so, yeah, but I do think it's basically time to wrap it up, sadly. Or maybe happily in this case, because I don't even know. Like I said, this episode was horrible. This actually could be the worst episode of Car Rides. I'm dead serious about it. I mean, I don't know. My career is in the toilet. You know what I'm saying? Alright, guys. I'll keep trying to keep my head up, and hopefully today's episode is a lot better, because I don't know what I'm doing at this rate, but I'll see y'all around. It's been Schla, but now it's time to buy Schla. So see ya, Schla.